الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله
Chapter 1, Hadith number 2, Grant of 5 special favors to this Ummah. Hazrat Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu relates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, My Ummah were given 5 things for Ramadan which are not given to anyone except them. First, for them the smell from the mouth of a fasting person is more sweeter to Allah than the fragrant smell of musk. 2. On their behalf the fish in the sea seek forgiveness for the fasting persons until they break their fast. 3. Allah prepares and decorates a special garden in heaven every day and then says to it, The time is near when faithful servants shall cast aside the great trials of the world and come to you. 4. In this month for them evil-minded devil shaitan is changed so as not to reach unto those evils to which they normally reach during other months besides Ramadan. 5. On the last night of Ramadan they are forgiven. The Sahaba radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu thereupon inquired, O Messengers of Allah, is that last night Laylatul Qadr? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied, No, but it is only right that a servant should be given his reward on having completed his service. Reported by Ahmad, Bajjar and Baihaqi. Commentary. Rasulullah mentioned in Hadith 5 such presents from Allah which were not granted to the fasting people before Islam. If only we can truly appreciate how great this bounty from Allah really is, and if only we could sincerely try to gain those special favors. Firstly, we are told that the smell from the mouth of a fasting one is more beloved and sweeter to Allah than the smell of musk. The commentators attach 8 meanings to this. Of these, in my opinion, 3 are the most acceptable explanations. A. Some are of the opinion that in the hereafter Allah shall reward that smell from the mouth with fragrant smells more sweet and pleasing than musk. This is the obvious meaning. Durra Mansur has also concluded thus, therefore this appeared to be the preferred explanation. B. On the day of Qiyamah, when we shall rise from the grave, a sweet smell shall emanate from the mouth of those who fasted, which shall be better than musk. See, the version which in my opinion is most acceptable is the view that in the world the smell is more fragrant than musk. This shows the bond of love between Allah and His fasting creation. We all know that even a bad smell from a person whom one loves truly and sincerely is in itself regarded favorably by the lover, who in this case is Allah Himself. Allah wants to grant the fasting one complete closeness, that so he becomes like the beloved one. Fasting is one of the most accepted forms of ibadah or worship in Allah's sight. For this reason the hadith states that the reward for every deed is carried by the angels, but Allah says, the reward for fasting I myself will give, because it is for me alone. Another version of the same hadith, according to some mashayikh, when read in a different way, says, I myself become his reward. And what greater reward can there be for the lover than to gain the beloved? In one hadith we read, fasting is the door to all other forms of worship. This means that through fasting the heart becomes enlightened, through which one is encouraged towards all other worship. This is the case only if fasting becomes fasting in the true sense of the word and all its requirements, as shall be explained later, and not just remaining hungry and thirsty. Note: at this juncture I wish to draw attention to one point. Because of this hadith, some Imams, especially Imam Shafi rahmatullah alayhi, prohibited cleansing of the teeth with miswak in the afternoon, whereas the Hanafis consider it to be mustahab at all times. The Imam's reason is that through miswak the smell from the teeth is removed. The odor referred to here is the smell resulting from the stomach being empty, having nothing to do with miswak. The second special favor is that fish in the sea make istighfar for the one who fasts. The aim here is to explain that many beings offer prayer on his behalf. This point has been mentioned in many hadith, and in some hadith it is mentioned that the Malaika angels make istighfar for them. My uncle Maulana Muhammad Ilyas used to say that this is apparently so because Allah says in the Quran, verily those who believe and do righteous deeds, Allah shall make them beloved in this world. One hadith clarifies this. When Allah loves a person, He says to Jibril alayhi salam, I love this person, you should also love him. Jibril alayhi salam then also loves that person and announces in the heavens that such a person is loved by Allah, you all should love him. Thereupon all the dwellers of the heavens begin to love him. Then love for that person spreads on earth. Normally only those who are near to a person seems to love him, but here that love spreads all over. Even the animals in the jungle and the fish in the sea do the same. They all pray for them, pray for him. The third favor bestowed on the fasting ones is that paradise becomes decorated for them. Another hadith states that at the beginning of every year the decoration and adornment of paradise begins for the coming Ramadan. We know that when a well-known person is expected to arrive, great care is taken in the preparation for his coming. At the time of marriage, for example, preparations commence months in advance. Likewise is with Ramadan. The fourth favor is that the rebellious evil sowing devil shaitan are chained, as a result of which evil is diminished. One would expect that because of the great desire for worship in the blessed month of Ramadan, shaitan would try just as hard to pull the faithful from their path so that much more evil would be committed. That is not the case. On the contrary, we see so much less evil. How many drunkards do we not see who just because of the blessed month of Ramadan do not drink? How many other evil doers do we not see casting aside evil just because of the blessed month of Ramadan, committing sins during the month of Ramadan does not contradict the meaning of the hadith. Because the hadith mentions only the rebellious shaitan or devil, the sin could be due to the influence of the non-rebellious shaitan. In some hadith, the chaining of the shaitan devil is not qualified, but this could be qualified by those hadith in which the rebellious shaitan is mentioned. A question may arise here that when the shaitan devil are chained, how is it that we still see evil committed even though to a lesser degree? Our reply is that evil may not necessarily be caused by the shaitan. Having for 11 months lived in obedience to shaitan whims and wishes, and because of the performance of deeds advised by him having become second nature to us, evil is done in and out of Ramadan. Thus, even though shaitan devil has been chained, his influence in us has become so strong that we follow his path on our own. Another answer to the question is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that when a person commits a sin, a black spot forms on his heart. When he sincerely repents, it is removed, otherwise it remains. When he again commits a sin, another spot forms until his heart becomes completely black. Thereafter no good can reach his heart. With reference to this, Allah says in the Quran, by no means, but on their heart is the stain of the ill, that their hearts have become totally rusted. In such cases, these hearts have a natural inclination towards sin. This is the reason why many fearlessly commit one type of sin, but yet if confronted with another sin of similar magnitude, then their hearts repudiate it. Whereas in sin these two misdeeds are equal. Similarly, when these sins are constantly committed out of Ramadan, the heart is tainted by them, thus resulting in these sins being committed without the presence of the shaitan. My personal opinion is that not all shaitan or devil are chained, only the most rebellious ones are. All of us can see in Ramadan it does not require a great amount of effort and exertion to do a good deed. Neither does it require great self-control and sacrifice to avoid evil as in other times. Maulana Shah Ishaq's one of the opinion was that for the evil ones only the most rebellious shaitan are chained, whereas for the righteous ones all shaitan are chained. The fifth favor is that forgiveness is granted on the final night of Ramadan. See previous hadith. Because of this great favor, the Sahaba companions of Prophet thought this night must be Laylatul Qadr. They knew the great blessings of that night and accordingly asked whether that was Laylatul Qadr. To get new episodes, click subscribe button.